Hi, I'm Anne Marie Lofaso. I'm an associate professor of law here at West Virginia University College of Law, and I am the co-editor with my colleague, André Cummings, on the forthcoming book, Reversing Field, Examining Commercialization, Labor, Gender, and Race in 21st Century Sports Law.
What this book does, which is different than others, or what this book does that others don't, is we interrogate issues, tackle issues, if you will, that most folks would rather leave under the rug or hidden.
We're very fortunate to have John Carlos write the foreword to the book. John Carlos, as you may recall, was one of the athletes at the 1968 Olympics he won the bronze medal in one of the track and field events, and he put up his fist like that on the awards podium, and he's written our foreword. So we're very excited about that because he obviously has a lot to say about commercialization and race, at the very least, in sports law.
We have asked 30 of the leading sports legal thinkers to contribute their thoughts to this book. We have contributors such as Floyd Keith, the director of the Black Coaches and Administrators, Kenneth Shropshire, one of the leading sports law thinkers in the United States. We have leading sports law professors in the law schools across the country. We have former labor secretaries under presidential administrations, former university presidents. We have some of the leading female law professors and professors of Title IX, all contributing to what we view to be the dark side of sports.
For example, Dr. Julian Bales, who's here at the university, wrote a piece about what the brain on steroids looks like. And he had the unique opportunity of dissecting several brains of athletes who were known steroid users, and he concluded that their brains look like the brains of Alzheimer's patients. So that's pretty interesting evidence that would tend to suggest that perhaps athletes shouldn't be using steroids. But we go into that debate and whether or not athletes should be using performance-enhancing drugs, and we have people like David Cornwell, who's a sports agent, talk about some of the controversy from the other side.
We have contributors that talk about the Rooney Rule in the National Football League, which has actually allowed a breakthrough in African American head coaches in the National Football League, but we continue to have a problem with African American coaches in collegiate sports. Why do we continue to have this problem? This book examines why we continue to seem to have a racial glass ceiling against African American and other minority head coaches in collegiate sports, and how we can break through.
We also are very fortunate to have Deborah Brake's piece, which talks about the invisible pregnant athlete. And it questions why pregnant athletes are treated differently than temporarily disabled male athletes, at least at the college level. This is a pretty exciting piece because it challenges our notions of who the athlete is.
The fact that our book, Reversing Field, Examining Commercialization, Labor, Gender, and Race in 21st Century Sports Law, is being released by the West Virginia University Press and by professors at the West Virginia University College of Law, we feel like is important. West Virginia University is one of the preeminent public institutions in the United States. As a preeminent institution, West Virginia University represents and struggles with some of the issues that continue to plague collegiate athletics and administration throughout the United States. We have a very prominent athletic program. We have a terrific university administration, and yet there's a consistent struggle at the university level to fight the battle that some authors, Alfred Mathewson from the University of New Mexico, calls the arms race. How do we balance the educational mission of an institution and the desire to be a nationally competitive athletic program, and how do we manage student athletes, multi-million-dollar contracts for coaches, in a way that respects an educational mission of an institution while remembering the very important place that collegiate sports plays for both alumni, fans, and student athletes.
Of course, sports fans of all different types of sports will want to read this book, but I think this book will have a much broader appeal. It will appeal to feminists, to people who study race issues, to sociologists, to people who are just interested in society, because sports is really a microcosm of society. And we often know who the players are, so it makes it even more interesting to read about. I think that law schools will adopt this book, in particular sports law courses, maybe some labor law courses, but also undergraduate courses in sociology, feminism, critical race studies, and just sports fans in general.
My name is Andre Douglas Pond Cummings, Professor of Law at the West Virginia University College of Law. I am very excited to be publishing, together with my co-editor, Professor Anne Marie Lofaso, our book, Reversing Field, Examining Commercialization, Labor, Gender, and Race in 21st Century Sports Law. This book will be released in October 2010. We feel like it's an exciting examination into modern sports and the law's ability to keep pace with all of the changes that have occurred in the United States in the last century.